Happy Home Day, everybody. Hello, friends who is tuning in from LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook. Welcome back to another on my LinkedIn Live. 30 minutes coffee break with your LinkedIn gal. For those of you who have been following me for a while, you guys know the drill. Please comment below where you're dialing in from. I'm so excited to have you here, and I love me a great coffee. Today, I have a massive coffee, different from any other days. I usually have like a small cup or sometimes espresso. So let me know where you're dialing in from. Do you got your coffee? For those of you who don't know me, I'm Salina Yeung. I am the ex-LinkedIn girl who turned into the CEO of the inacademy.com. In the middle of COVID, I'm showing up every single day for my amazing community and every Wednesday to share one topic, tip, tricks to help you to get real result on LinkedIn and utilize this power of this platform and stop feeling stuck, overwhelmed, lack of time to figure out LinkedIn all by yourself. I'm here for you. Let's get started. Have you ever think about being your own boss? Transitioning from employee to entrepreneur is a journey that many of us take unexpectedly, including myself, but not likely. However, it is durable. I saw that Andrew is here. Hello, Andrew from San Francisco. Good morning to you, buddy, because I know it's 6 a.m. for you. I'm so glad you're here, Andrew. And Stephen, hello. I know you're in Switzerland, and thank you so much for joining my show. And Fasal, hello from Zurich. Amazing. I am going to meet Fasal. He's my client, amazing superstar client of mine. I will be meeting him in person tomorrow for dinner. I'm just so excited to finally meet him in person. It's going to be amazing. I know I have a lot to catch up with him. We have had this internet relationship. I'm pretty sure you guys can relate for the longest time and through Zoom calls. So I'm really excited to see you in person, buddy. And Fasal, I can't wait to have a blast with you. And Bridget, so happy to see you from Austria. Amazing. And Fasal, yes, me too. Can't wait. I'm going to drive up 6 hours to see Fasal. I am just so excited. So going back to us, many clients have spoken to me and said, Salina, I wasn't ready to take on all the responsibility of being my own boss. I'm now accountable for everything, right? CEO doesn't mean Chief Executive Officer, is chief of everything. I'm pretty sure you guys have heard about that. And how do I shift my mind from that, from an employee to entrepreneur? The toughest challenge that every of us face is having to be a jack of all trades. Agree? Is that resonate to you, my friend? So today we're going to talk about how do I become without really giving up, going back to be an employee. And I hear you, my fan, and this is exactly what today's about. So today I'm super stoked to welcome a very special guest. She's an incredible LinkedIn friend and also an influencer on LinkedIn, who is someone as a mental health advocate, mindset rebuild expert, and the CEO of Cuccio Asia Limited. She helps many small businesses and entrepreneurs like you and me rebuild a growth mindset and find positive emotion from negative situation. So did your ears just perk up? You have that, right? And I'm pretty sure you do. And I want you to walk out of this show today feeling empowered, confidence, and knowing how to navigate from being an employee for your life and transition to be your own boss. You might be in. I think we all need to use an extra coffee shot of mindset rebuilding to get us back on track. And this will be helping for us to get self-motivated as well as being self-aware. And this is exactly what this episode is about. I couldn't think about a better person to talk to you about from employee mindset to entrepreneur mindset. Who is this amazing mindset rebuilding expert I'm talking about? Is Jacqueline Yeung. Hello.
Hi.
Hi, Jacqueline. How is it
Hello.
going? I know you're from Taiwan, and thank you so much.
Yeah, it's actually 9 p.m. here.
I know. And thank you so much for spending your Wednesday night with us. I know a lot of us is still like after having lunch. Now it's actually, going for the apero time. So I'm very grateful for you to spend your evening with us.
Well, actually, the time is not too late, but yeah, I noticed some of you were good morning, some of you good afternoon, but
Yes,
yeah, for
US.
Asian friends, it's good evening.
Yes, absolutely. So I'm very, very happy that you're here, and thank you so much for being at our show. I have been asking all my guests the same questions, and I know Andrew, Stephen, for Bridges, these are all my people that have been listening to me. And before we jump into the real topic, I want to ask you one fun fact about you, Jacqueline, that is not on your LinkedIn profile.
Okay. One fun fact about me is okay. Since I was a child,
Yes.
I would have asked why and why and why until my mom would say, "Can you just be quiet for 5 minutes?" You know how I answer my mom?
What?
Why?
Why? I love it. I love it. So you are already, super what want us to
Curious cat.
know, get down to the answer. Your mindset is already trained like why, right? Oh, that's so cool. This is interesting to know. And how about now for you adults? Are you still asking a lot of whys?
I still do. But sometimes, when you keep asking why and you couldn't find the answer, you got to take yourself off the situation.
Yes.
Because when we, I know that a lot of people say that when you do something, you need to be laser focused.
Mhm.
But you know what? If you keep laser focused on one thing, eventually you actually destroy something.
Yes.
So
Yes.
you got to pull yourself out from the situation, stop overwhelming yourself by trying to get to the bottom and dig into where you can get all the whys. And that
Mm.
pause sometimes open your mind and your eyes to more different perspective that you may find out that, oh, I was laser focused on the wrong thing. Let's
Yes.
focus on something new. And then that will
Absolutely.
help us to transform that idea to be a more accurate idea that you really can bring it to reality.
I couldn't agree more, and I can resonate 100%. I have days that I'm like so fixated to get down in the bottom of something, which is not even matters for my business. So I'm so glad that you brought that up. And later, I'm pretty sure you'll share so much gems how to transition from an employee mindset to an entrepreneur mindset. Okay. And I'm pretty sure my audience would love to know about you. Apart from when you're young, you ask a lot of why. So, how did you become a mental health advocate as well as becoming where you are today?
Well, this is funny. If I said that some of you, okay, I just want to say that it might be trigger alarm here, alert here. Why I am at where I am at today,
Mm-hmm.
it is because of depressions. So
Mm,
being mental health advocates because I experienced it.
mm,
I came out from a long journey in depressions, anxieties, and panic attack.
wow.
And also because of that,
Yes.
that it kind of like funny as if you look at it, it's like I was continuing to denial about the mental health part when I was younger. And because
Mm,
I want to cover it up, oh no, I'm not depressed. No, I don't have a problem. Like,
yeah.
and because I want to try to cover it up, I want to do everything the best I can.
Mm,
So when I learn something, I want to be the top of the class. When I do something, I want to be the top number one. And that kind of drive sounds weird, but it's kind of like because of the cover up and it pushed me to do more than anybody else and try to
yeah.
do better than everybody else. And that's
Mm,
where the whole journey becomes, partially like this and partially it's also the power of encouraging myself or empowering myself to do more than we require, I would say.
yeah. Wow. I wouldn't know if I, jump on the show and ask you about that. And if you don't mind me asking a little bit more not personal questions, but how do you survive from depression? Because I know some people really don't. And it's a shadow, but as long as you're very aware of you are getting into that space, you try to, be aware and identify and try to live happily, or change your mindset positively when negative situation happen. So what are some of the ways to help you?
Well, I think it's like, I would say that there's like kind of like different phases. When first you denial, you don't want to say that, oh, I have mental health issues. Or some people say, oh, I don't want to say that I have disorder. So that is a denial phases.
Denial
But once
phase.
you understand a little bit more about it, depression, it's funny. It is one of the most severe mental health issue.
Yes.
But it's also one of the one that you actually can heal and help yourself.
Yes.
So yeah, it's very important is when you're starting to understand it, it's just everything just suddenly makes sense. So my first time being diagnosed I was 17, 18. So it's about 30 years ago.
Yeah.
And from the denial, I never really think that everything that I did or let's say my relationship with other people.
Yes.
How do I treat other people? It's all based on that depression background that I did a lot of things. I have a victim mindset. I keep thinking about that nobody wants me, nobody loves me. And then because of that, you feel like that, oh, being dumb, it's one normal thing. People just leave me in my life because I'm not good enough. Now, when you at that point of life, and you can keep going, if you don't come out from that, you just dig darker and darker, deeper and deeper. And it was just funny as one day, I shouldn't say one day, but I feel like at one point of life, it's a Christmas, and I was playing, and then I feel like God said, "Hey, you have been through enough. Now turn that into the power to help others." I don't know why. I mean, I just can tell you that it is kind of like maybe the books I read, and it's something that's at a point of life, I'm just like, right, I have enough. This is crazy. And then I start to dig myself into learning, like ask why. And then, so I studied psychology, try to understand more about it. And then and then pandemic. And then, because before pandemic, I'm actually traveling like 100 days out of a year.
Yes.
So when you travel so much, you're so busy and you don't have time to pause. Again, we come back to the pause part of life.
Yeah.
When you're so laser focused, sometimes you forgot to look to the other different aspects of life. Yeah. And then I start to think about maybe because I love writing. So I start to write posts every day on LinkedIn. And because it's pandemic, and I try to encourage everyone because I need encouragement too. Yeah. So I start to write something to encourage myself and try to encourage everybody. Hang in there, we can get through this, like things like that. And then more you write, which is also a very important part of life. It's when you're in that downtime of life, which is normal because everybody has it. Okay, nobody is like happy all the time.
All the time, yeah, it's
rare.
just impossible.
I do have friends like that, but it's really, really rare. So
I think I'm those crazy people, but I do have downtime. It's normal. It's how it is.
You might have like disappointment, something that you expected but didn't happen, right? So when you are at downtime, try to write it down. Why I feel what I feel. It's like a question. So you're asking yourself. You don't. Of course, if you have someone to talk to, you can have that person to help you to generate the answer. Why I feel what I feel.
Yes.
Emotions is like labels. Like something happened to us, and then we start to bring into the memories, like pulling a file. Okay, what is similar to this? Our brain. That's how our brain works. And then once we pull that bad part of experience, and then we start to label the emotions. Label all the bad thing, like, oh, I'm angry, I'm fear, I'm this and that, like a combinations of emotions all together. Now, if you can label them out and then write it down, now you ask yourself, okay, I have fear. Why do I have fear? Now you start to answer your own questions. And then you keep going, and then you'll find the answer. Now you look at all these steps like, oh, okay, so now I know why. Okay, when you know why, then you can deal with it.
Oh
So
my goodness, that's
it
so
is,
good.
it
That's
is pretty
going back
cool,
to your
right?
childhood. Why you always ask why? It actually helps you along the way understanding your emotion, identifying that signal. I like that you talk about the labeling. It helps you. And so do you do journaling every time when you felt down or you felt, some type of like negative signals?
Yeah. So when you write it, and it's actually a theory called narrative theories to help people to change their personality. Now, a lot of people think that personality, which is what you're born with, which
Yes,
is not completely true, because you
true.
still can change
Mhm.
that. You
Yes.
still can change that by writing it down, by putting into the writing and conscious to think about why I feel what I feel. Why I
Yes.
did, for example, you're yelling at someone. Why I yell at someone? What's wrong
Mm,
with me? Not
yes.
the person, you. Focus
Yeah.
on yourself. And
Focusing
to me,
on yourself.
it is good to write down all these negative emotions. But again, if you do not go on to ask yourself why I have that feeling, you don't know the why, you just feel more anxious about those negative emotions. So it got to be a
100%.
process like that. And this is kind of like daily practice. When you do more practice, it's just like you're trying to retrain your brain to
Right.
think
Yeah.
not that negative. You're trying to train your brain to pick those labels and throw, okay, so I don't need fears. I don't need anger. Okay, I'll keep the happy. Now you train a while, you start
Training
to
our
realize
brain. Yes.
whatever bad thing comes in. For example, someone says something really bad, like, oh, Jacqueline, you're ugly. I would look at it first. Absolutely. I still react like, what are you talking about? Why you
Yeah.
say that? You're so
Mhm.
disrespectful. Like, that's normal,
Yeah.
right? But then
Exactly.
when you have that, now you ask yourself, why do I care that so much?
Exactly. Who cares about how
I
you
mean,
feel about
that's
my looks?
somebody else's perspective. It's not mine. I look at myself. Okay, well, at close to 50 years old, I think I look pretty good.
Oh, 100%. Oh my goodness.
So
You
w-
look great, girl.
when you can do that, then you
Yes.
realize that that person
Put
said
into different
something
perspective.
nothing to do with you. So but if you
Absolutely.
don't, you allow that first moment emotions to keep going with your day. How bad that day could be. Think
Absolutely.
about it,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
So
I
you can
yeah.
re-narrative your own story by that.
Absolutely. Love that. And I just want to quickly pull off some of the great things that the audience said. So Bridget say our pain often brings the brilliance out of us, which is resonating to your point earlier.
Absolutely.
Jacqueline and Fasal also agree. Sab, so happy that you can join us. So excited about this conversation, Jacqueline. Thank you so much for sharing your experience. And MD, so happy. Hello from India. Thank you for joining our show. I hope I do not butcher your name, my friend. Greetings from Istanbul. Wow, we have a world friends of here. I love it. And John say, excellent. Jack
Hey,
Q.
John.
That's cute and great advice. Absolutely. I love all that. And so, Jacqueline, I like that you be very, very aware when those signals, so emotion, those negative labels coming out. So as an entrepreneur, right?
Mm.
I am only 9 months old, still a very young baby, I would still say. I also caught myself sometimes in sort of like a not fixed mindset, but it's more like an entrepreneur transitional phase where I felt frustrated. I mean, it's normal, right? Like you said, you
It
will
is
have your
normal.
ups and downs. People reject. There's people that, I mean, during hiring process, it could be difficult to find someone that you truly love and felt like they could join the company and support us, right? There's just so many different mixed emotion.
Mhm.
Not to say about the decision. I think another day I'm inviting a guest. She teach me this term like having decision fatigue every single day. That's also drained me from my
Mhm.
energy. I know naturally I'm very energized. I am a raw balls of energy. I do have to agree. Sometimes it's too much, but I have downtime too. So how do you sort of obviously you have experience helping your clients as well as helping many other people do that. How do you help entrepreneur like me, which is in a younger early phase, to get through this?
All right. So the one thing that you mentioned just now, you were talking about decisions. When you are an employee, most of the time, even though, unless you are really the person in charge of whole company, the whole corporate, thinking about whatever level you are in, do you take this? Do you take other people's decisions to take action?
Yes.
Or you're the person that making a decision? Which one are you?
I am in between. I manage a team, so I do position, but I do also need to consult my senior manager about that. So it's still in between. I'm not making the full decision.
Right. So now come back to yourself. Now you being the entrepreneur, you being your own boss. Think about that. How many decisions that anybody helps you to make?
Nobody.
Sorry, it's all yours. Welcome to the entrepreneur world.
Reality.
The reality is, before that, sometimes we're so used to taking other people's decisions, taking other people's command at the point, and or they have a way to do things. Anyway, so you are kind of like, either you follow the SOP, you follow the protocol, you follow your boss's instructions, and you take the instruction and action.
Follow it. Execute it.
You have no one tells you what to do. So the first things, first things that are overwhelming you is, I need to make a decision which channel to use. I need to make a decision which social media I should go first. Should I go social media advertisement, or should I do this and that? Like everything lay out on the table, and you were like, okay, I've never made all this decision before. Now you're totally overwhelmed. Now, this is unfortunately most people when they're very excited, because I have to say that if you guys hate me, but honestly, a lot of people say, I want to be my own boss. For why? Oh, because I want to have freedom. Okay. You feel like that you are free because you do not have to clock in and clock out. You think that you're free because now you can work at home. You can do whatever the time that fits you. There's two situations that I've been seeing mostly. Of course, I'm not trying to generalize everything, but this is two of the situations that happen all the time. Either someone is so enjoying having the free time and become lazier. And lost the momentums of getting the business going.
So true.
Okay. So true, right? The second one is pretty much burn out yourself within 5 months. I'm not saying 4 or not 6, because when you're up to half years, you feel like it's like a milestones, right? Not the first 3 months. Usually the 6 months is like the first milestones. But when you are at the 5th month, you already feel you already burn out, because you lavish your time. Oh, I want to, especially a lot of coaching services, because you're trying to take as much call as you can. Right. And I know a lot of people are doing like those kind of 30 minutes free calls with people,
call,
and then you're basically opening your whole agenda to take 100%. As much as you can, right?
100%.
You're
like a sidekick now, Jacqueline. You're telling me exactly what I felt like. And I'm pretty sure our audience resonate too, because Brit just say, thank you. What you say so much resonate, 100%. Bridges is also a young entrepreneur. She had been in her, entrepreneur journey. And I met her through DCA. So it's great. She's amazing.
Robert's here.
Yes, Robert's here
Rob. Too. But he was actually the person that I do this all the time, like because when I go for seminars, I teach a small business how they should start a business with what kind of mindset. Because for us, as I work with manufacturers, if the end of the supply chain doesn't work out, none of us will be surviving. So we have to teach the small business to survive, so that our distributors can survive, so that the manufacturers can make money. Everybody can make money. So for me, I've been seeing so many of them like, oh, I feel so free. So now their business is open one day, it doesn't open the other day. Or they open from 10 to midnight. I'm like,
Oh
and no
God.
day off.
Oh
And I'm like,
wow.
are you trying to kill yourself?
Yeah,
You
you
know,
can't
and
do
most of the
that.
time, I just want to say this, is like, when you allow people to make appointments with you, try to put it under your agenda,
Yes.
not you following their agenda. Because a lot of people, okay, so what time you because when you try to invite someone, sometimes you say,
Yeah.
okay, so when is your time that you are available? Now
Yeah.
they give you time, like, oh, you know what, I will be your time at 11 p.m. Do you want to take it? At the first first few months of the journey, you definitely will take it.
Yes.
You think, oh yeah, I don't want to give up any of the
Opportunity.
opportunities,
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
However, when you keep doing that for a couple months, now you burn out
Yeah.
because you feel like that you're working 24/7.
Yes.
No, we're human beings. We need time to rest. We need time to
Charge,
pause
collect.
and process.
Yes.
So you got to make the agenda. Tell people, you know what? This is the time that I'm available. How about you? What is your available time? To just try to get to the common ground. And of
Yeah.
course, there is so many softwares that you can choose to use. Try something that let people see
Wow.
what is the schedules available for them. Let them book what is convenience for them. So you have to still put yourself into a schedule that you work. You can work more hours, no doubt,
Mhm.
because when you really want to try to build a business, you probably will work
Right.
more hours. But again, if you do not set the boundaries for yourself before you achieve anything, you burnt out already.
100%. I couldn't agree more, Jacqueline. What you just said. I wish I had this conversation with you maybe 5 months ago. Because I mean, I think there's a phase, right? Like you said, you
Yes.
obviously don't want to lose the opportunity. You just go say yes, yes, yes to a lot of different people, and then you end up burn out and not knowing, having a boundary as well as a clear goal where you're achieving. I like that you said super early on. You're so fixated to wanted to solve something, yet that thing that you're trying to solve or spending hours and hours and hours on is doesn't really help your bottom line of your business. So let it go, right? There's so many things that we could be sort of doing even better. So just want to quickly pull off and say John is from Vegas, Nevada.
Yes.
Amazing. You guys know each other? Because I see
Yes.
she put Jack Q, so I assume you guys know each
Yes.
other.
Yes. Yes.
Amazing. And Andrew said
Yes.
that's a very interesting way to think about emotion. Absolutely. And thank you for sharing your positive perspective, Jacqueline. Great guest. Yes. And
I
Rob said,
appreciate that.
couldn't have a better host for your first live. I did ask you. So thank you so much for being on my live show. And so happy to see, I mean, three of us as well. And morning to my dear Jeanette. And she said morning to all of us as well. Thank you. Yeah. So going back to a couple, I mean, obviously, Jacqueline, you have just dropped so many gems to us already, like really being self-aware, having those signal, really write it down. I think having that actionable step that you talk about writing down, it's so important. I'm going to learn and try to do it. I'm not a really good person when it comes to journaling. I have times where I have my journal and then I'm just so active writing it, and then sometimes I felt very busy and I left it behind. So I think it's one of those things that I do want to continue, and I think that will help me a lot. So that's one of the things. And I also like one of the things that you talk about, it's owning your schedule and setting boundary. One of the things that I learned and have an aha moment, that's why I say, Jacqueline, I wish I have this conversation with you 5 months ago. I think 2 months ago, I realized I shouldn't be opening up my schedule just like that. Okay, book your schedule through Calendarly. It's enable me very easily, but at the same time, it allowed people to just basically book whenever you have, right? So I have like in the right after the LinkedIn live show, I would jump to another call, but I'm exhausted basically. So I learned about blocking time blocking to help me. So I'm only doing all the live show, all the appearance on Wednesday, and then on Monday and Friday is for my clients, and then Tuesday and Thursday is for business. So is there any other like tips that you could give to entrepreneur to shift mindset when I talk about like decision, we talk about the scheduling, also talk about, you know, identifying emotions. What else do you think we need to know before we jump the gun to be our own boss?
All right, two more things. One thing, it's the worst part that you feel burned out is after that 5 months, you put so much time into it and you don't know how to ask people to pay you.
Yes.
Honestly,
Yes.
I mean, we all been there. Come on. I mean,
Absolutely.
I'll be honest, right? Because we used to get paid on the same time, the same day, every month.
Yes. Payroll.
We get paid. Because you're an employee, right? So you don't have to worry about you don't get paid because I mean, if that company doesn't really pay you, you probably get a new job already, right? Because it's not like what happened. So as an employee, we get paid all the time.
Yes.
We get paid on time, every month, the same day, and you never really have to ask for that. Now, so you spend the time, you try to talk to people, you try to get the clients, and then you get nothing. There is people, they will take time, you know, like in a sales term, that's what we call close the deal.
Yes.
You couldn't close the deal because you don't know how to ask people to pay you.
Yes.
Now, this is something that you really need a great mentor to teach you how to do that, because that change, it's not easy, especially if you're not coming from the sales department like us, like sales people.
Me too. I'm sales too, so I know.
If you're a sales professional, you feel more comfortable to ask people to pay you. But if you're
100%.
not, that is one big hurdle for a lot of people. They do not know how to ask people to pay and end up they were actually doing free jobs, free things for people. People were asking for, you know, having that 30 minutes, and then that 30 minutes, they ask all the questions they need, and then they don't pay you.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying that the person's intent is wrong or bad, but, you know, sometimes like people didn't know because you didn't give them a chance to pay you, because you didn't even mention it, because you don't know how to mention it, or you don't know how to raise it up.
Yeah,
Then
absolutely.
that all this combination together, 5 months, it's a timeline that you start to feel like, oh my God, should I even be my own boss? Now you start to doubt yourself. Now there is the fears, the anger, the doubts. Seriously, all those negative emotions keep coming back. Now every day, one day is worse than the other day. Now that you feel like that you want to quit. Now you are in the middle of nowhere and don't know where you're going. So now you want to sit down, write on this. Why I think what I think, why I did what I did, why I feel what I felt. Now you find the part, what's blocking you, what is the hurdles I couldn't get over it. Like you gotta find someone. I don't want to make it like an advertisement. Go to Rob Gilbert. Trust me, I love him. He is one of the most amazing mentors I've known. And you need someone to be able to help you to get over that. Sometimes it just, especially like I said again, if you are not salespeople background, it's tough. It's really tough.
Absolutely.
Absolutely so tough. Now, another thing that I want to share this with you really quick. I study data analysis. So when I was trying to implement that part of knowledge into my seminars, and I find out one thing that I was shocked. I was having a group of 80 people, and then asked them, do you know how much money that your company made last month? You know what I got?
Nobody
said,
knows.
Approximately, I said, excuse me, what? You know how many business owners, especially if you're solo, if you're on your own, sometimes we didn't even know how much money we're making, how much money we're spending.
Yeah.
They will tell you approximately how much they made.
Wow.
Approximately. How do you run a business without that?
Without knowing all the numbers. Yeah.
Right. But trust me, 80% of people have no idea.
Really?
How much they
this
spend,
is so
how much they
interesting.
make. They may know how much they made, but they don't know how much they spent. Because I'm not trying to talk corporate, but yes, in most of the corporates, they will have budgeting. For example, now, right, if I want to do an advertisement, I have a budget. I will set a budget. Now I need to see the conversion rate is, let's say if I spend $100 for this advertisement, how much sales I get back from this app? I need to know, because if I do
Yes.
not know the conversion rate, how do I know that this investment is worth it? They don't know, because everybody is doing Facebook advertisement, so I do it. I'm like, okay, so everybody is dying. Do you want to go die with them as well? And they were like, huh? I said, look, startup failed 70%. Why? Because they didn't even know how to make that actual plan financially. I'm not a financial person. I'm not even good at math, but the idea of knowing your own data, I'm not talking about you have to get into the big data or this and that. Let's look at your own data first. How much money you spent? How much like this and that? Maybe you have like, oh, I have to pay for the calendar app. I have to pay for my website and this and that. That's all cost. Write it down, drop it down, keep on track.
Absolutely.
How much you're spending, how much you're making, you need to know the conversion rate so that you can identify what channel of advertisement or how do you promote your business is working.
Yes.
Right? If without that data, how do you know? You pretty much playing the whole game blind.
Absolutely. And data won't lie. Yeah, and data won't lie. You look at the data, you look at the numbers, that all it is, right? Yes. I think this is a great tip, and I hope a lot of you are enjoying this, because that's actually one of the things that I do take pride that when I started the In Academy, the very first thing is looking at the accounting tool, which is the best accounting tool to drop all the expenses that I have. And then whenever I have clients coming in, pay me, I will go directly. And obviously, I mean, Jacqueline, you and I, we're sales, right? So we know sort of like how to negotiate, how to basically confirm with the clients. For me, I always suggest try to get prepay as a payment terms, 100% with all service-based business, because like you said, the time, the energy, the effort that you go back in chasing the money, it's a lot. And darlings, we don't have a lot of time. We need to do sales. We need to do our own accounting. We need to do our own CEO. We need to hire people. We need to manage people. There's a lot on our plate. And plus, you need to chase money. No, please don't. So I think prepay or making a payment terms that makes sense for you is the most important thing. So I'm so glad you mentioned that. And I couldn't believe we're talking about mindset, but somehow this is so important. It's one of these things that you need to know when being an entrepreneur. So I just want to quickly pull off this LinkedIn user. I'm pretty sure Jacqueline is your friend. Jacqueline is wise. Bracken and coolest hack. Yes, me too. Well, I agree.
I don't really talk about business on LinkedIn before, so pretty much a lot of even the people knows me probably the first time they hear me talking about business. I don't really talk about business at all.
Really? Oh, interesting. But you talk business like good. And Andrew said,
I do this for a living.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. All the seminar. Exactly. All the seminar. The 80% people is like, wow. Jaw dropping, knowing like, oh, I need to know my numbers better. Talk to Jacqueline. Exactly.
Well, that's really, really important, because sometimes when we have all this quote unquote freedom, you just so free, and at a point that you didn't know that you actually used to be, you were getting paid. Now you have to pay.
Yes,
there's a lot of changes. It's you want to prepare your mindset to be ready for that.
Yes,
and not just jump into it. So that's the reason why it is from an employee mindset to an entrepreneur mindset. That transitions. If you prepare your mindset, everything will be way easier, that you don't put yourself through that 5 months of burnout.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree more. And I do want to say one more thing that I do learn is, obviously, Jacqueline, to your point, we want to grow our company like fast as an entrepreneur, as fast as we can. But we always need to go back to ourselves. How do we sell? We hire investors. Your client is going to get the best out of you. It's not going to be great ROI for your company at the end. So make sure to let it go, as always. I love that. Absolutely love this tip. And this, I need to check who is this, because obviously you need to change your setting on LinkedIn, because your privacy setting is a little bit more higher. That's why we can't see your name. But LOL, I'm meeting Jacqueline.
Hi, Nelson.
Oh, Nelton. All right. Nelton, good to see you. Great. So Nelton is super happy to see you first time, Jacqueline.
Well, I
Amazing.
appreciate
How
it. It's my honor. It's fun. It's really fun to have this live with you.
Oh yeah, you enjoy it? That's so good. And
That's
I'm
what
so
we're
sorry
doing.
I'm running a little bit out of time. I know your time is it's I want to be mindful of your time too. But thank you so much for sharing all the gems. Jacqueline, how would people want to find you if they are looking for a mental health advocates as well as a business coach like yourself? Who should they go to LinkedIn to find you? Where is the best place?
Well, I think find me on LinkedIn will
Okay.
be the easiest way because I basically spend. Okay, if you want to find me on Clubhouse as well, okay, you
Okay.
can find me on Clubhouse, and
Mhm.
or otherwise, LinkedIn is the best one to find me because I don't really spend time on Facebook, even though I do have an account on Facebook, but that's for another business. Like, yeah, like
Got
DM
it.
me on LinkedIn, connect with me on LinkedIn. Yeah.
Okay, LinkedIn and Clubhouse. I will drop that in and make sure everyone follow you as well as, want to connect with Jacqueline to understand more how you can grow your business in a very healthy way. Do that. Awesome. Thank you so much, Jacqueline, for your time. And I look very forward to reconnect with you soon. And thank you so much for being, your first LinkedIn Live,
Yep.
being at
My
my
first,
show.
very,
What a
very much my
pleasure.
first.
What a pleasure to have you. And as for now, I wish everybody a happy Wednesday and let's chat soon. And check out the In Academy. We have something super exciting as launching next Monday. So check us out. We have a new freebie coming in. Sneak peek. My marketing guy is going to hit me. But anyway, we're having some really cool stuff out. So check our website out. And I will see you all on next Wednesday, same time. Bye, everyone. Happy Wednesday.
Bye.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank
Thank
you,
you for having
Jacqueline.
me.
Thank you.